Hey there, life learners, and thanks for tuning in. Do you want to be strong? Do you want to be fit? Do you want your body to be at its best? If you said yes, yes, and yes to even one of these, then you're likely going to want to get your eating and your lifting on after the show. Good day out there to all our YouTube viewers and our audio listeners. Thank you and welcome to episode 281 of the Business of Life Masterclass podcast. For listeners and viewers both, we ask you to please think about the last time you felt really capable in your fitness and in your choices. Now, you know that Barb and I are all about moving and grooving, so today's episode of the Business of Life Masterclass is on how to know your body and expand your limits. So hello again, everyone. It's me, Debbie Lundberg, performance coach, mindset coach, resilience coach with Presenting Powerfully.
Barb Zant here, media sales leader and founder of the Less Said brand and blog, The Stay at Work Mom. Debbie, who is our guest who can show us ways to get our peak performance, please?
Peak performance is what we want. So she is a certified personal trainer, health coach, and group fitness instructor specializing in helping women in perimenopause and menopause get strong, lose weight, and improve their health. We know this because we have had the ability and the opportunity to work with her. Her work in health and fitness spans over 20 years, from creating exercise videos for moms and children's to co-creating an obesity prevention program for pregnant women that launched at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital. So she's passionate about creating wellness solutions and to help people live happier and healthier. She is a mom who is about to become a grandma, and she is a dog whisperer on top of all of that. So please welcome Amy Burton.
Hi, well, good morning, Debbie and Barb. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited to be here. And of course, thank you for mentioning that I'm going to be grandma, because I'm quite excited about that. In case you didn't know, my grandma name is going to be Mimi.
Mimi, I like that. Welcome, Amy. What is one thing in your bio that we didn't get to hear that's interesting or cool, but we would like you to just tease it now, and we will hear more about the story behind it at the end of our episode here.
Great. Well, I like to really think it's cool and hope others will too. I have an initiative I recently launched called Exercise in Faith. And really the goal is to bring more people to Jesus and exercise. I think the two together are a powerful combination to strengthen your heart, build your muscles, bring joy to your mind.
And just a tease now, Amy, just a tease. More later.
We will hear more to follow, and we are excited about that. So, Amy, you were invited on the Business of Life Masterclass podcast for your enthusiasm for life and fitness, and you were put on earth for what you are doing now. I love it. Since you have listened to our podcast, please share in 50 words or less, just a quick comment on what specifically made you want to be on the Business of Life Masterclass podcast.
Well, I love the fact that you all actually listen, choose something to do, and then do it and report back. That's very unique, super cool. My hopes today is something I'll resonate with the audience, that they might want to try it too and be happier and healthier.
Good. I like to try things every day. Thank you, Amy, for your take on the Business of Life Masterclass podcast. But before Debbie gets into our podcast that is our 4 questions, what's one thing that you are super excited about as we are, about to go into Thanksgiving just in a short week or so?
Yeah, well, I am super excited just in general because this is the year I started my own business and have been building it. So, I really have been focusing on my 3D for a Healthier You program with women, but I'm also branching out into some new fun directions with kids and families. So that's one area. And then the other thing that has me just really excited through the year is I've been trying to make myself better and more knowledgeable. I recently took the course, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John Maxwell, and it was the law of intentionality. And I'm being very intentional in my choices for what I do and how to grow. So every quarter I have been doing a new certification or specialization in health and fitness so I can better serve my clients.
Well, I love that. And since you are excited about a lot of things that you have going on and these certifications and this new walk of life for you, and that's perfect for our walk up music. So what would be that song for your walk up to life music?
Yeah, so I picked the song Strong by Ann Wilson. She is I would call her a new and up and coming contemporary Christian artist with really a country flair. Everything that I used to think I had to do it on my own and be strong and, power through. But now I'm really looking toward God as my source and strength, and I feel like I don't have to do it alone these days. So it's a
All
really
right.
great song.
Well, we are not alone, and we will check out Amy Wilson. I don't know that song, so we will definitely check it out. All right, now it's time for our podcast 4. Amy, we ask everybody these questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Thank you.
Okay, number 1, what time do you get up in the morning, and what is your morning routine to get your day started right?
Yes, well, I'm up at 5 a.m. just to prepare for my first group exercise class that starts at 6. Besides the normal stuff of getting ready, the one thing I always do is make sure to drink at least 16 ounces of water to get the day started. Sometimes I also go for the coffee, but other times I wait, but the water is an absolute must. I do have quiet time. I like no TV, no music. And, the other thing that I do to prepare for my day is just I pray and I list and talk about the things that I'm grateful for, and make sure I get in that positive mindset so that I can come out happy, energetic, and, ready for my clients.
Yeah, positive mindset translates beautifully into a positive day. So number 2, Amy, what is something other than the 5 a.m. wake up and the quiet time and the gratitude that you believe if other people would do it, it would also set them up for success?
Yeah, so this was a toss up in something easy of drink more water and a more challenging one. And I picked exercise first thing in the morning. And that's really before you start your day and do anything else. I believe it really is a game changer. Even if you're not a morning person, I would encourage you to try it in the mornings just because sometimes the day is so unpredictable. Whether you have something at work happen and you end up having to stay late, your kids, something happens with them. And really the most common thing that I hear is I'm just too tired now to work out at the end of the day. So the day really takes its toll. And, it's just such a game changer. Even if you try for 30 minutes in the morning and, can do a variety of things, the hardest thing is that first week. And then once you push through that first week of getting up earlier and starting that, you really start to feel good and can notice a difference.
All right. Well, Barb can attest to that. Our listeners over the past 7 seasons know she is not a morning person, and she loves it when our guests say get up later, but she was in the class today with me as well. I am a morning person, so I go to the class after I run or do Peloton. So I agree. I know Barb's smiling, so she's gotten used to it too as she trained to go on her amazing journey, which we did a podcast on. So number 3, Amy, who or what has been the biggest influence in your life, your success, and your continued enthusiasm for life? And really importantly, what have you done with that influence?
Yeah. So I have to admit, I actually hadn't really thought about this question until I was preparing for this podcast. And I actually chose my son. I think anybody with kids, your lives and your choices are influenced by your kids from the day they're born. But I really enjoyed once Luke became an adult and watched him go off to college, and then he joined the military, and now he's a husband and soon to be father. He's really pushed me to be different and better, to be perfectly honest. I think he has shown such leadership and courage and determination as he's become that adult. And, because of that, I no longer stress about the small stuff. I'm bolder in my decisions. And I also really appreciate and just focus on today.
How wonderful. We hear a lot about parents and we don't hear as much about children. So it's a good reminder for our listeners and our viewers that there's no wrong answer to inspiration, and making our choices based on being inspired by them is a tribute to them. So we're excited. We know that your Mimi is coming. So number 4, that Mimi name, while our series, and ultimately, as you know, our master class, and teaser for our listeners, we may ask Amy if she can do a master class for some of our former guests. We focus on the positive. The reality of the world in which we live is there's a lot of negativity out there. So Amy, what's something that you wish that people would stop doing that would generate more positivity in their life if they would discontinue it?
Yeah. So, this is something that you may not think would impact your life as much as it can, but it's actually stop eating so many processed foods. And while, you might not know, it really does have an impact on how you feel and your health, with all the different chemicals they're adding to the foods to stabilize them, to keep them on shelves longer, to freeze them. They can really cause inflammation, weight gain, cravings, and metabolic disorders. So I really recommend folks try to replace the processed foods with, things like more fruits and vegetables, and choosing foods with ingredients that you can pronounce. And what the ingredients are is big. An easy way to do that is something called the Yucca app. I'm a huge fan of it. It's YUKA, and it's free app, and you can scan the barcode on any food item, and it rates it from 0 to 100, and it tells you why. And if you've scanned something, it rates it poor, it actually lists a whole nother options of food within that same category that you could quickly kind of look at. So, even if you're looking at potato chips, it might give you an option for a healthier version, or, there's all sorts of food you can do it with. Crackers is a huge one. But anyway, I always recommend people start with downloading the app and do their own pantry and refrigerator.
Sounds good.
The sauces and the dressings that they have, just to kind of see what stuff they're eating on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, it really is interesting. Like, I make salad dressing out of vinegar and oil and basil and lemon or lime, and it's so good. And you can add honey and all those things I can pronounce, and I know where they come from. And it's probably, it was since Julie Sims, who hasn't been on the show, but I know she listens to the show. She brought that because she said, Debbie, this fits with your allergies. And it was such a thoughtful thing. And then she gave me that recipe, and I'm like, there are only 5 things in here, or 6 things, or whatever it is. And it makes such a difference from if I go out to a restaurant and I have theirs, I feel a little different having the dressing. So some things like that to stop doing are so simple, and yet we get in habits. So thanks for sharing that. I know Barb has notes like I do. Barb, take it away.
Yes, I got 2 pages of notes. Thank you, Amy. Your ideas have made me feel healthier already. Some of the things that I plan to implement is that the wake up time at 5 a.m. So I am at that 6 a.m. class, but I'm going to push that. It's only 15 minutes earlier, but I'm going to look at that. And then the water. So we had another guest recently, and we're working on the water. So you have 16 ounces. So that's inching it up just a little more, but 16 ounces is definitely something that I'm going to do. And then with the Yucca app, I use it a little bit, but I haven't committed to doing my pantry and my fridge and freezer. And so I'm going to do that and get rid of some of the things in there. And my son will benefit, I believe. So Debbie, your list might look similar, but are you ready to embrace a couple of these ideas for our next Business of Life Masterclass podcast to follow through episode?
Sure. Yeah, I didn't know about the Yucca app. I can drink the water. That one's tricky because I go run and I have to drive now, being that we're displaced. Yeah. About 25 minutes before I run. So we'll see how that works. When we run at the river walk, we know we have restrooms available. But if we run at the Causeway or on Bayshore, we don't. So I will be selective in the days that I do it. And sure, yeah, I mean, I like all of these ideas, and certainly looking at what we have available. I get up at 5:01, so I'm not going to push it back to 5 because Brian Kornfeld was on and told us to get up at odd moments, and he was on our first season years and years ago. So I'm going to stick with that, and that's very close to it. So I'm good.
And I think I'll do 504 for that reason. So
Okay.
I've been doing off time for years, and so 5-4, that'll be a tad earlier. So Amy, as we wrap up, and we could talk from on and on, but we do want to have you elaborate a little bit on the T's, and we don't have too long, but I'd love to hear just a little elaboration on. You talked about you're excited about the exercise and faith.
Yeah, so thank you. Again, the idea kind of came last fall when I was working in digital tech, traveling a ton, and just really starting to pray and kind of go, what's next? And really just the idea came to me, and as it did, it just really became clear that that was one of my purposes, and just to try to bring people to Jesus and exercise. And it's two things I love so much and feel very passionate about, and they're just two powerful things together that are so good for folks. Right now I'm just online, but I'm hoping to bring it into the churches as well, because there's so many faithful people that are actually they don't feel good because they've neglected their own self-care, and that whole exercise piece is missing. And then there's a lot of great athletes out there that are struggling and feel empty in other ways, even though they might be in incredible shape. So my hope is just to inspire people and get them moving more and spending a little bit more time with God.
All right. Well, as we close this out, we have time for a quick comment, really quick comment. Love to hear one last comment from you, Amy.
I'm just going to encourage everyone to, think about moving more and really trying to be active. If you don't feel that motivated to exercise, just getting out and walking is great. Getting out and doing something, especially when you're outside. I think that's a huge way when you're feeling anxious or stressed to change the dynamic that you have in your head, just to get out and walk. All movement matters. So it's super important. And then,
let's land on that then. Movement matters. That's a good mantra to go with. Movement matters. All right, good. Well, Amy, thanks again. As now we get ready to say goodbye because we're hitting that peak time. What is your walk-off mic drop music? If we started with your strong, what would you end with if you were exiting a class or a stage?
I would end with Praise. It's a song from Brandon Lake and Elevation Worship. It's just happy, energetic, and celebrating life, which is where I kind of feel like I'm right now, and just feel really blessed.
Well, thanks so much, Amy.
Thank you. It's been such a pleasure.
You are welcome. We had so much fun. So please, listeners, know you can stay connected with Amy Burton on all social media under her name and through focusedfitnesssolutions.com. So you can track on that and see how she continues to grow. Similarly, you can follow Barb and me on Instagram and Facebook at the Business of Life Masterclass. Barb is the Stay at Work Mom, and I'm Debbie Lundberg. Most places, Debbie Lundberg Coach on TikTok for those workday wake ups and the videos that are out there each day.
If you like the insights you heard, please rate us 5 stars. We are committed to providing you with 5-star guests and inspiration, just like Amy. Please do provide us feedback and stay tuned for our follow through episodes when you learn what Debbie and I did implementing Amy's ideas. So thank you for joining us for this episode of the Business of Life Masterclass, the podcast for successful people embracing every chance to accomplish and experience all you can in business and in life.
Listen, choose, do. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you have ever thought, gosh, I'd like a collaborator, I wonder what else I could do, it's likely that the answer is a coach. Hi, I'm Debbie Lundberg, Performance and Mindset Coach with Presenting Powerfully. And if you would like confidential coaching to drive you to the next idea, the next role, or even to figure out your own brand, please reach out to us at Presenting Powerfully, 813-494-4438. Thank you.